What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. North London Derby weekend, people. Hyped up, ready to go. Less than 24 hours to go until kickoff. Don't forget, we will be back tomorrow with the watch along, 11:45 a.m. UK time for a 12:30 p.m. kickoff. Big up to everyone tuning in today. We're going to preview the game, look ahead to the team news, look at the Tottenham team news as well, and we will see what manager Mikel Arteta has to say in the press conference reaction. And we'll look ahead to the game, a little bit of transfer news as well. And yeah, let's see what everybody is thinking ahead of the game. I made a comment in the week on the Talk is Cheap show, me and Laurie, and I said that for me right now, I think this is the biggest derby in British football. It doesn't have the history, it doesn't have the passion of Celtic Rangers. We know that. That has a much deeper meaning to it. I think this is the best footballing derby in British football right now. Celtic Rangers doesn't have the standard of football. Man United, Man City, for me, is secondary because I still believe that Man United hate Liverpool far more than Manchester City. Manchester City is just their annoying little brother. This is the game right now. I'm telling you, massive game. Big up to everyone for tuning in. Let's see what you're saying in the community. Yes. Big up yourself, bro. South London's finest. Blessings, Ras. Hope you're well, Rasta, man. Henan Guna, Arsenal should win this. Better side and better chance conversion elements. We need to be ruthless and focused. Big up Jermaine, who said perfect timing on my lunch break. Big up, bro. Appreciate you tuning in. JY said spot on, big rivalry that runs deep. Kay said Arsenal should chase the league, so if we fail, we get top four. Chasing fourth solely makes it a lot harder. It's all about mindset. I hear you. You got to aim as high as possible. Aubameyang in the background, I know. Do you know what? When I put that up, I didn't really think about it, and I thought this is going to be a little bit controversial now because the brother plays for Chelsea, but it is what it is, you know. It's just a good throwback of his last epic moment at Arsenal, and obviously Thierry homage, so we can work with it, you know. Look at this. You lot are too much, you know. You lot are too much. Anyone who tuned in Monday, the R. Kelly chat got a little bit crazy, and a man's created an account and put the lyrics in it. I refuse to sing the lyrics on live YouTube, people. I can't do it. It's the remix to Ignition. Nah, let's leave it. Let's move on. Don't get me caught up, people. Darren said, big up Curtis in the community. Smash a like and remember to vote Curtis for the Football Content Awards. Link is in the description below, people. Big up Darren. Big up everyone who has voted. If not, lick down that like button and subscribe and get voting if possible, people. Yeah, rest in peace to Coolio, man. Legend. Sad news, man. Sad news. Listen, as somebody who grew up watching Keenan and Kel every afternoon after school, you know, and he was obviously in the intro video. Yeah, that was very sad, man. 59, no age at all, man. So very, very sad. Haroon said, Curtis, time out. Yeah, we can't. The R. Kelly things have to stop, man. Rye 25, big Curtis, glad I can be on the live stream whenever you're live. I'm at work, but Arsenal for life. Big game tomorrow, people. Beresford, thank you for the super chat. What's good? Kurt, feeling good myself. Funeral for an uncle in Brighton recently, but my brother got married. Big up. Yeah, man, listen, hope you're well. It's the circle of life, innit? You know, crazy things in life. But hope you're well, Beresford. Hope you're feeling better. Hope the wedding lifted your spirits, and appreciate your super chat and your support in the channel. Eddie and Ketia said, what happened Jamaica versus Argentina? Listen, I'm going to be honest. 3-0 for Jamaica in the end. You'd have offered me a 3-0 defeat before that game. I would have taken it right now. I can't lie, people. Jamaica moving mad. And let's be real. Anybody that watched that game, it was 1-0 until, what, the 78th minute? When Messi scored his first goal. Messi came on last 20 minutes, scored 2 goals. It can happen. It was 1-0 until like the 78th minute. So I'll take that. I can't lie, people. I will take that. Jamaica did all right. They had a couple of half chances as well. But it was always going to be difficult. Let's be honest, man. And maybe they've got a little bit of hope now getting Ivan Toney, because Ivan Toney didn't make an appearance for England in any of those games. And I believe if you're on the bench and you're a substitute not used, you can still actually play for another country. So I know that Jamaica in the background have been trying to get Ivan Toney to play for Jamaica. So you never know, if they can get a couple more players, maybe they'll have a chance. Galvin, thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, Curtis, my city is underwater because of a hurricane. But I miraculously have power for the North London derby tomorrow. Hope you're well, Galvin. I know there's some crazy weather going off in the Caribbean at the moment, in parts of America. Spoke to a few friends in the Caribbean who, they're having a tough time over there. So I hope you're well, and anybody that is caught up in this crazy weather, man, I hope you're all safe, and I hope you've obviously still got power in your households, people. Ivan, Toney, Henry. Anyway, let's get into the game. Let's talk about the game tomorrow. Absolutely massive game. I feel like this game is so big because usually, let's be honest, Arsenal, Tottenham, it's, maybe one of us is fourth, one of us is third or fifth or seventh. We're both firing at the moment. Tottenham are not firing in the sense of performances, but they're firing in terms of where they are in the league. We're obviously, I would say, firing in terms of performances and position in the league. However, this game has crazy, crazy dynamics to it. And I'm going to be honest, I've spoken to a lot of Arsenal fans this week, and nearly all of them expect us to win this game. This is a game where Arsenal are going to have to perform at a high level to win this game. We can't get caught up too much in the fact that Tottenham haven't beat us at the Emirates for a long time, or they're not playing blistering football. The reality is, and I hate to give them any type of credit, but I'm being balanced here, people. They have quality players and they have an elite manager. Conte will not care about possession. He will not care about the performance. He will stink out the Emirates and try and nick a result. For Arsenal to win this game, we have to perform. We have to turn up. The crowd will be going mad. The players have to come out the traps, press that Tottenham defence, and I think we need to score early, because when I think Tottenham are at their most vulnerable is when you score against them and they have to come out and they have to attack you a little bit more. That's when I think you can pick off their defence, and that's when I think you can add more goals to the scoreline. So Arsenal, for me, they have to come out of the traps flying, and we need to score early, in my opinion. The longer this game is 0-0, it will suit Antonio Conte, because he'll be waiting for one opportunity. We need to make them have to come out, have to attack, and then you can pick them off and open up the gaps in their defence. Greg said, cheeky Arteta in that interview, ready to cook that chicken. Big up the community. We will obviously do press conference reaction a little bit later on in the show, and we'll hear what he's had to say. I haven't seen any of his quotes, so I don't know what he said. Khalid said, brothers and sisters, of course, stay safe in Florida and in the Caribbean. Hope you're well, and listen, I hope your power is still intact. Tammy said, Curtis, are you doing a watch along tomorrow? 100%, people. 11:45 a.m. I'm here. It's going to be scenes. I'm going to be going crazy one way or another. It's as simple as that. Latte, big up, bro. He said, Mikel will be ready. Conte will counter-attack. Come on, you gunner. Oh, he said, Mikel, be ready. Yeah. The interesting dynamic about this game is we're totally different in our styles of play. Conte won't mind having 38, 39% possession as long as they hit us on the break 4 or 5 times and damage us. On the other hand, Mikel Arteta is going to want 55, 65% possession, more chances, more attacks. They're very different in their style. Conte is kind of similar to the old school Jose Mourinho. And I would say Arteta is trying to be like almost obviously Pep Guardiola. So 2 very different styles. The dynamics are going to be unbelievable. I tell you one thing, I think there's going to be goals in this game. I don't see it being 0-0, 1-0. I think there'll be a number of goals in this game because the crowd is going to be absolutely rocking. Marty Freeman, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. We're going to find holes tomorrow and have their defense looking like a string vest. I'm telling you, string vest settings tomorrow, Marty. That defense better get opened up. And I'm telling you something. Eric Dyer, the way he was defending for England the other day, if I'm Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, whoever, you got to be, exposing him. That is for sure. So big up Marty. String vest settings tomorrow, man. Rastaman settings. Nope, 4831 said it's my birthday. I'm waiting for the wife to give birth at the hospital. Cheers. Hey, blessings upon blessings to you. Happy birthday and good luck with your future newborn boy or girl. And big up from everyone in the community. Smooth One J said, don't wear that black kit tomorrow. We don't want it ripped out when the Hulk arrives. We don't want no Hulk arriving tomorrow. I'll be in the red kit tomorrow. We're at home. It's got to be the home colours. Red kit. And listen, I ain't ripping nothing. Like I said, people, inflation and all of that business. I ain't ripping a damn thing. Look at this. Curtis Shaw adorable. You lot are destroying me here, you know. Who's better, me or Eddie? It's got to be me, ain't it? Surely. Eddie, respect, you know, good player. Trying to find your way, but there's levels to this, Eddie, man. But listen, whoever's creating these accounts, you're unstoppable. I can't lie. George G said he's Pep Light for sure. Pep Light, I'll take Pep Light right now. Pep's that good. We'll take the light version of it. That's probably the best we can manage right now, but we'll take that. But as I said, people, the dynamics for this game are going to be unbelievable. Right, let's start looking ahead to the game. I always said tomorrow the Bills go through the roof. Hopefully Arsenal can take my mind off it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 1st of October. Damn. What do? You put on an extra hoodie or do you put the radiator on? I don't know. You're going to have to figure it out, people. Eddie versus Big C at Celebrity Boxing. Hey, let's do it, man. I'm ready. I'll start training. Nah, big up. No violence, man. No violence. But you lot are outrageous with these profiles that they create. But the community is legit, man. Big up each and every one of you each and every time. Right. I'm looking ahead to the game and we'll finish off before we get into press conference reaction at the end. D. Guna said, Curtis, you're down with the viral fever since the last 2 days. Can you do your Wenger accent? Listen, if we can get good players in the market, we will do it. Danny Welbeck, he's like a new signing. It went a bit off there. I feel like I started French. I ended up somewhere in Birmingham. But anyway, let's move on. Get well soon. More phone calls tomorrow. Exactly. We need phone calls from Jesus. That is for sure. Right. Let's talk team. Let's talk starting lineup. Although, maybe I should have done the press conference before, but assuming everyone's available. The big question for Arsenal, who starts tomorrow? And yeah, you're right, Johnny. The game's on BT Sport, not on Sky. So anybody, if you have BT, then cool. If you don't, then sort out your stream from early. Get yourself organised, people, as it's an early morning kickoff. I think that 8 of the starting 11 picks itself for tomorrow. I would go as far as to say 9, but I'm leaving this here just in case a few of you have a dispute for this team lineup. Ramsdale picks himself, Gabriel Saliba, Xhaka and Partey, Martinelli and Saka, Jesus. They pick themselves. In the cam role, you could say Odegaard or Vieira. I got to be totally honest. Odegaard's going to start. Odegaard's going to start. Listen, Tony, big up everyone watching on Twitch and everyone on YouTube, of course. I just left him out just in case somebody was like, you know what? Vieira came in, he bagged, do you keep him in the team? But listen, the reality is he's the skipper, he's back fit, he's going to play. So we're going to throw Odegaard back in there. I'm not even going to have that dispute because there is no debate to have there in terms of Mikel Arteta's going to pick Martin Odegaard, right? So we leave that one. I'm going to be totally honest. Oh, Jay Signia said Turner starts for me. You got to be a Tottenham fan or someone else. But I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind on something, people. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm going to hold my hands up. When did I last stream live? Monday. On Monday, I said Ben White starts at right back. I'm going to be totally honest. I've changed my mind. I think I'm starting Tomiyasu if I'm the manager. I think I'm starting Tomiyasu. I think this is what you get paid your money for. And I think sometimes you got to look at it and say, in reality, who's the best right back at the club? It's Tomiyasu. Ben White's done fantastic this season. Doesn't deserve to get dropped. But this is the reality of football. I don't always think... You don't always get picked even when you deserve to. If Tomiyasu is fit, Tomiyasu just played on international duty. He's our best right back. I think you've got a very big decision to make. Some people say Ben White can't be dropped. He's been excellent all season. He doesn't deserve to be dropped, and I don't think he does. But you're playing against Son. This is a North London derby. That could be the difference. But we're going to put a poll up. We're going to get a poll up. Smokey said FIFA 23 slaps hard, Big C. Yeah, it's decent, to be fair. It is decent. Let's get a poll up. Let's get a poll up. More polls than a strip club, people. We'll start first of all. Who plays at right back tomorrow, in your opinion? Not who Mikel Arteta's going to pick. Because I think Mikel Arteta plays Ben White tomorrow, right? I want to know, who would you pick at right back tomorrow? Would you go with Ben White or would you go with Tomiyasu? It's a big decision. This is what Arteta gets his bread for, you know? But there you go. First poll of the day, and then we'll obviously move over to left back in a second. I would personally, I'm going to be totally honest, I think I'm going Tomiyasu if I'm picking the team, just purely because, number one, I think going forward, he's going to help Saka a little bit more, in my opinion. And I think those wing-back positions are where you can expose Tottenham. They'll probably play Sessegnon or Perisic, left wing-back, and obviously Emerson, a.k.a. Chicken Royale, at right wing-back. Saka and the fullback, if they get forward and double up on that one wing-back, I think they can get exposed. I think Tomiyasu gives you a little bit more than Ben White going forward. Also, let's be honest, we know Son is on his day. He's a world beater. Ben White has done really well this season and he doesn't deserve one bit to be dropped. He even did really well against Zaha as well. But these are the big decisions you've got to make. I look at Tomiyasu as the specialist. His quality in the air. I think he'll help Saka a little bit more going forward. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. I want you to let me know in the comments what you think. I have to admit, I've changed my mind. I have. At the start of the week, I was purely, listen, Ben White deserves to start. There's no way he shouldn't start. He did well against Zaha. He's played well every week. But the closer we get to this game, for some reason, I'm telling myself, I think Tomiyasu should start at right back. I think he's better in the air. He's a natural right back. I think he helps Saka more going forward. And that's just how I feel. But I want to know what you think in the comments, people. Who would you play at right back? F4 said, not Ben White's biggest fan, but he's been very good this season, so he starts for me. J Dime said, you can't drop Benny Blanco. Abby said, if Tommy is 100% fit and match, is he 100% match fit? Well, he played for Japan the full game, I believe. So I believe he should be fine. Let's see what you're saying. Ben White doesn't deserve to be dropped, but Son is on his side, so I've decided to start Tomiyasu at right back. Son is terrorising all our fullbacks. Let's hope not. Gunnar Vettel said Ben White for me. Tomiyasu is a backup now. That's interesting. Jashar said big up Curtis White for me is currently better in the inverted position. I hear you. Nicholas said the disrespect to Ben White on this channel is crazy. Do you know what? I don't want anybody to think it's disrespect. I'm just looking at it as he's not a specialist right back. Listen, Arteta's going to play Ben White. There's no doubt about it. Arteta is going to play Ben White tomorrow, in my opinion, over Tomiyasu. I don't know what it is. I'm going with my feeling. I just feel like Tomiyasu is better equipped maybe to deal with Son. But the reality is Tomiyasu hasn't played for Arsenal for that long that I don't think he will pick him. So let's end the first poll. I'm going to go with what you're saying in the poll. And see what you're saying. Right, it looks close. So we've got 58% of you say Ben White, 42% say Tomiyasu. So we're going to go with Ben White. Listen, Ben White's going to play, regardless of me. I'm just throwing this out there for a bit of controversy and debate. But Ben White's going to start. That's just the reality, right? He's been in good form. His confidence has probably been knocked by the fact that he wasn't in the England squad. The last thing that the manager's going to want to do, in my opinion, is drop him and further damage his confidence more. Gaitan said they paid 50 million. They won't drop him. And of course, this is the way that you keep him in the team because he knows he's got a big problem at centre back if Ben White wasn't there. At right back, who do you get? Who do you leave on the bench? He bought Ben White for 50 million, so he's going to want to play him. So we're putting Ben White in there purely off the vote. And listen, he doesn't deserve to be dropped out. I don't know why. I've just got this feeling inside me that I'm like, Tomiyasu feels better equipped to deal with Son, in my opinion, than White. But it is what it is. But he has been very good at right back this season. He definitely deserves his credit. Rai said, Ben White in form and he's playing well, but Tomiyasu can deal with Son and he's better equipped. But Arteta will play his 50 million golden boy. Alfred, thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, playing against a team that counter-attacks your back line needs to be fast. For me, Tomiyasu is faster than White and Kieran Tierney is faster than Zinchenko. I definitely would agree with that. I think Tierney is quicker. South London's finally said 1v1, which is what we will have to deal with on the counter. I trust Tomiyasu more. And that's what I would say. I think when you isolate Ben White, he can sometimes get done. But listen, let's go with what you've gone for. 58% have said Ben White. 42% have said Tomiyasu. I think the manager's going to play Ben White. He loves him. Has been good this season. And listen, that's what I think we will go with. And I think because Tomiyasu hasn't really played a lot for Arsenal, I think Ben White will get the nod. Left back. Time for a second poll. Quick poll, people. Who starts at left back? This is interesting. And I tell you why this is so interesting for me is because there are rumours now that Kulusevski is going to be out tomorrow, right? There are rumours that Kulusevski is going to be out and that Tottenham may play a 5 in the middle and just play 2 up front, Kane and Son, and pack the midfield. Because I think Conte would look at Richarlison, Kane and Son as being, I think that's going to be, that might be too attacking for him. And you know he wants to sit back and hit us on the break. If he packs the midfield and plays Kane and Son in a 2 with 5 in midfield, then I think we need extra support in midfield, which if you play Zinchenko at left back, he can drop into the midfield and supplement that midfield. However, if they play Richarlison or Kulusevski on the right, for me, you need the better 1v1 defender if that is the case. The better 1v1 defender is no doubt Kieran Tierney. Also, is Zinchenko 100% fit? Right? Is he 100% fit? Didn't go on international duty. Didn't play the last game. So how fit is he? For me, if I'm being totally honest, with what I know at the moment, I don't fully know what their team news is tomorrow, Tottenham. So we're not sure. I personally, I'm going for Kieran Tierney. Just simply because against Brentford, I thought he had a really good game. He was solid. Zinchenko's been injured. Didn't play on international duty. He hasn't played now for, 3 weeks? I would play Zinchenko on Thursday in the Europa League. Let him get his fitness up there. Then you've got a decision to make next weekend against Liverpool. For me, Tierney's fit. I know he flew back early from international duty with Scotland. It was a bang to the head. He's not unfit. I'm going for Kieran Tierney just because I think we need that defensive solidarity. They are going to hit us on the counter-attack. But listen, like you're saying, Gunnar, how nice is it that we can sit here as Arsenal fans and we can debate who plays at right back? Last year, we couldn't have that debate. Cedric or Tomiyasu, there was no debate to have. Left back, there was no debate. Kieran Tierney or Tavares, it was Tierney. Isn't it great that we have great options like this in these areas? What Arsenal need now, we need to be having these debates in 4 or 5 positions on the pitch. That's the problem with Arsenal's squad at the moment. Franklin said, is Tierney available? I thought he suffered concussion. Apparently, it was a precaution, not actually concussion. He should be available, although, like I said, I haven't read the transcript from the press conference, so maybe he isn't available. Zizi, thank you for the super chat. Kieran Tierney's recovery pace will be so important, 100%. Public and Me said, I would bring in Zinchenko more for mastering, but I would choose to start Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney starts. He's a defender. We need defense, and I agree with that. True that, bruv. We need more debates. 100%. I want to be sitting here saying, right, who plays in midfield? Xhaka or a new centre midfielder, whoever. Douglas Luiz or whoever we sign maybe in January. Who plays on the left? Is it, I don't know, Gakpo or Mudryk, whoever, and Martinelli. We need those kind of debates. Penny for the guy, Curtis, I've sent you a sample app. Please read your email and get back to me. I will do that today, bro. Appreciate that. So, right, let's end the poll. Let's see what you got to say. I know it was only a short one, but obviously we can't wait too long. Still got to do press conference reaction. For me, I'm going Tierney, and the community have gone for Tierney. 60% Kieran Tierney, 40% Alexander Zinchenko. And it's difficult. It shows how difficult it is. Both of the votes were close. Darren saying, I've changed my mind so much within the last 2 minutes. It's literally a flip of the coin. You could say, all right, we need to keep the ball more tomorrow and dominate and have that midfielder, the left back that can drop into midfield. In that case, you go Zinchenko. However, I just think we need defensive stability. These guys will win us the game tomorrow if we're going to win it. This front four, going forward, that little triangle there. In fact, what is that? A diamond? We'll say diamond. I don't know what shape that is. You can tell I haven't been to school for a while. But anyway, that four will win us the game tomorrow, in my opinion, going forward. I don't think we need Tierney and Ben White bombing forward that much, to be honest. What you need to do is stop what happened to us at their ground last year, where we're bombing on and getting caught down the sides. Ben White, just stay and tuck in. If Tierney goes forward, you leave your Gabriel, Saliba and Ben White, so you've got a 3, and we keep it moving from here. I think this will be the team tomorrow. I think this is how we will play. I think Ben White will play at right back simply because he hasn't really put a foot wrong. Even though for me, I would have considered Tomiyasu because of the natural right back. But I understand Ben White not being dropped. He hasn't done anything wrong. And Kieran Tierney, for me, I just think because of the extra defensive stability, the extra pace, the fact he played our last game, the fact Zinchenko didn't go on international duty, hasn't played for over 3 weeks now, I think you've got to go with Kieran Tierney starting, in my opinion. Shine bright like a diamond. Come on, man. Rihanna settings. Let's go, people. It's North London Derby weekend. I'm telling you, tomorrow, oh my days, I'm going to be hyped up. Let me tell you now. I need to make sure the laptop, everything's insured, because anything can happen tomorrow. Anything can happen. Buenos Aires, Guna. Buenos dias, Curtis and C-Unit. Listening from work. North London Derby this weekend. Vamos, Arsenal, la puta madre. Let's go. Big up yourself, bro. Hope you're well. And let's just hope we collect 3 points tomorrow, man. We need it. Ridwan said, great to watch you after a long time, Big C. Hope you are well. South London's finest. Odegaard needs to be on his game tomorrow. I don't want to see Jesus constantly dropping deep for the ball. Let's be honest, right? Odegaard has to turn up tomorrow. These are the games where, I'm going to be totally honest, these are the games where I question him. Right? These are the games where I question him. Is he a talented footballer? All day long. 23 years of age, quality, gets between the lines. Right? Hints of Mesut Ozil about him. Not as good as Mesut Ozil, of course, but hints of that. But he needs to do it in the big games. The games where the other team's trying to rough us up and you're playing against better quality, you need to perform in those. This is a massive game for Martin Odegaard. It really is. How do you beat this Tottenham team? For me, you've got to push their wing-backs back and you've got to get at that defence. even though Tottenham are quite resolute and defensively solid, they're defensively solid because they pack their defence. They've conceded the same amount of goals as us in the league. 7 goals. We've conceded 7. They've scored 1 goal more than we have. For me, you have to expose Emerson Royale and Ryan Sessegnon. I think they're both weaknesses. I think they're the weakest part of this team. And I think Martinelli and Saka are the key to us beating them tomorrow. For me, when you play against a wing-back, effectively, what a wing-back has to do is play right wing and right back. He's the only player. So Emerson Royale has got to deal with this whole side of the pitch. We're going to have Martinelli, we're going to have Kieran Tierney. You get Martinelli just dropping into there, you get Tierney on the overlap. That's how you destroy them. How did we destroy Tottenham last year? Down that left-hand side, we were getting overloads. We got down the sides. Smith Rowe set up Aubameyang. Saka got down the sides and scored. Saka got down the sides, pulled it back. Smith Rowe scored. Our wide players were overloading their wing-backs, and they could not cope with us. These guys have to get the best of their wing-backs tomorrow. If Perisic starts, by all means. Perisic is what, 33, 34? Naturally, he's a winger. Make him run like he has never ran before. Yeah? You might have done a lot of running in Serie A, playing against Bologna, playing against Sassuolo, whoever. No disrespect to any Italian football fans. This is the North London derby. Perisic, you have never ran like you're going to have to run tomorrow. Let me tell you that. Chicken Royale's getting cooked tomorrow, yeah? It's peckish. 12:30 kickoff. I'm peckish tomorrow. It's lunchtime. We're cooking this team tomorrow. We have to. Because if we get beat tomorrow, worst case scenario, if we get beat tomorrow, all of a sudden, all the question marks are going to be on Arsenal and Arteta. People are going to say all that hype, all this manager of the month, but when you played Manchester United and when you played Tottenham, you failed. And remember, we play Liverpool next weekend, a very tough game. Arsenal have to handle business tomorrow. This is a must-win game for me. If we draw tomorrow, I'm disappointed. That for me is like a defeat. We have to win this game. Emerson, a.k.a. Chicken Royale, you got to deal with him. Force him backwards, double up on him, rip him apart. Martinelli, for me, can cook Emerson Royale tomorrow. And Saka against Sessegnon, get at him and double up. Ben White has to help him at times. And like you said, Jimmy, be clinical, be patient, and be smart. We cannot go gun-ho. What you cannot do against Tottenham is go gun-ho on the attack, because we know, whether, we don't want to say it, they are counter-attack specialists. We can't get caught on the counter. When we get our chances, we got to take them. We have to come out of the traps like a greyhound at the racetrack, flying. And let me tell you something. This man here tomorrow, Gabriel Jesus, please, on behalf of the whole fan base, do not get a yellow card, because if he gets booked tomorrow, he is suspended for the Liverpool game. And no disrespect, I'm not trying to see Eddie Nketiah up front against Virgil van Dijk, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. Must-win game for Arsenal. People saying Perisic has won Champions League. I don't care what he's won. I don't care what he's won. Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, I don't give a damn. I don't care if he won Wally in his school playground throwing pound coins at the wall. Make this man run like he's never ran before. How old is Perisic? Let me go on him. Ivan Perisic, he turns 34 in February. Make his ass run like he's never ran before. He's never played against Arsenal in a North London derby at wing-back with Saka. Did you see what Saka did when he came on for England the other day? Electrifying, spark plug business. Make Perisic feel like an old man tomorrow. Let me tell you, that's what we got to do. Xhaka and Partey, they have to dominate the midfield. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Curtis Watt, pound on the wall. Ah, there you go. There you go. You know what I mean? When you threw the pound, we used to call it Wally, man. You get your pounds, you throw them, closest to the wall wins. You see, you had to get... The comments are wild, man. But yeah, Perisic, run his clock like he's never had to run before. Let me tell you, make him pull that hamstring tomorrow, chasing after, man. He needs to turn around to the manager at half time and say, what do you want me to do? There's 2 of them. I can't get near him. Virgil van Dijk is finished. Curtis Eddie will put him in a spliff. Oh, my days. Imagine if that happened. Big up DJ TK. Listen, I don't want to be in that position, though. Penny up the wall, you call it, right? Okay. Penny up the wall, you call it. We called it Wally. It's definitely a northern thing then. Nottingham boy. We called it Wally, man. Penny up the wall, you know. I've never heard that. That's the beauty, innit? You know, different parts of the country call it pitch and toss. I don't know. That's got to be from like 1980 or something. I don't know about all that. Anyway, let's go. Let's move on. Right, let's get into press conference reaction. Maka said, I disagree, Big C. Jesus must play his game. If he gets a yellow, so be it. If I have to pick a game to win out of Liverpool Spurs, I'm picking Spurs. I hear you on that. If you said you can win the game but he gets booked or he doesn't get booked and you draw the game, he's got to hold the suspension, hasn't he? Because I said last week, I think we need minimum 4 points from Tottenham and Liverpool. But if we were to get 4, I need 3 of them to come off Tottenham. I'd take a draw against Liverpool if we beat Spurs. So... our Curtly motivation speaker. Well, we try. Clement said we have to get them on the wings. We have to be patient and we have to be clinical in front of goal. We need to run Perisic, Sessegnon and Royale. I'm telling you, them 3 are the weakness, let me tell you. And don't get me wrong, I rate Perisic. Remember, we nearly signed Perisic when Unai Emery was in charge. Perisic is a very good winger. Is he a very good wing back in the Premier League? It remains to be seen for me. You know, look at the way Chelsea peppered them. I know they got a draw out of that game, but let's be honest, they were very fortunate. Big up, Shaq. Hope you're well, bro. I'm telling you, man. Wally, man. Surely they call it Wally. You throw the pound at... Anyway, I don't know, people. Anyway, let's move on. Press conference reaction. Mikel Arteta. Nick, tell him. I don't care what he's won. I don't care if he won the World Cup. I don't care if he won Eurovision Song Contest, America's Got Talent, X Factor, the Carabao Cup, the Carling Cup, what was it called? The Worthington Cup, the Milk Cup, Coca-Cola Cup. I don't give a damn. Make him run. Make him run. Take him off at half time. Make him so tired he never ran that much in his life. Take him off. And Chicken Royale, he's getting cooked. Season him up and cook him tomorrow, people. Martinelli never went on international duty. Full of energy. Run him. Run him. These men are getting ran ragged tomorrow, I'm telling you. But anyway, we move. We move, people. Curtis, I went to Nottingham for the first time last week. There were e-scooters all over the place. Yeah, all over the place, bro. Could have won a date for all I care. Run him, blood clot. Run him. Run his clot. Make him run. He ain't going to know what's hit him tomorrow, man. I'm telling you. Run his clot, yes. Yeah, man. You've won Champions League. Cool. Who was that with? Bayern Munich? Yeah, man. Easy league, man. That's easy work. I'd probably win a Champions League at Bayern Munich. You know, he could get away with it. You ain't never played in this North London derby, bro. You ain't never felt this temperature. Temperature's going to be high tomorrow, let me tell you. Alfred said, my nerves are already on 1,000. One of my friends is a Spurs fan. He's already on smoke. I really need to win this for my mental health. Bro, let me tell you now. Losing to Man United at Old Trafford was bad. That bothered me. A lot of people saying, well done, good performance, unlucky, not me. I weren't having none of that. That United team was there to be beaten. It's unthinkable to lose to them at our ground. No. It can't happen. It can't happen. Even a draw to me is like a defeat. I'm not here for no draw against Tottenham at home. We have to beat them. It's like there's an agreement right now. We beat them at our ground. They seem to smash us at their ground. But we need to change that as well. But nah, it's unthinkable to lose this game. We have to win. But yeah, listen, it's Arsenal therapy if we get beat. It's beyond meltdown. But listen, I'm thinking positive, man. Perisic is pulling his hamstring tomorrow, I'm telling you. And Chicken Royale's getting cooked. Anyway, let's get into press conference reaction. It is that time again. People saying in the comments that Conte was bigging up Arteta in the press conference. I don't listen to none of that. They'll sweeten you up and tell you everything you need to hear. You know these experienced managers, how they deal with it. Look at that smile. You better be smiling like that by 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. That's all I'm saying. You better be smiling like that. If you're smiling like that at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, then yeah, man, vibes galore, people. Vibes galore. We have to win this game tomorrow. I have to admit, I'm a little bit nervous. I am a little bit nervous because we all have to be honest. It is a game that if we don't turn up and perform properly, we're going to have a problem on our hands. It ain't just, because it's at home we beat them. No, you got to earn the right to win this game. These men have to be smart. Granit Xhaka, everyone's hyping you up. Oh, Granit, he's been so good. All right, turn up tomorrow. Turn up. Don't give away no stupid penalty. Don't get a red card. Get on the ball and make things happen. Go and bully Basuma and them, man. Yeah, I've heard a lot of hype. So these men have to turn up tomorrow. It's huge. I'm beyond hyped. I honestly, I cannot wait for the game. I wish the game was starting right now. That's how I feel right now. Big up Premsy in the chat. Hope you're well, bro. Must-win game, no messing about. No messing about. You can't draw this game. A draw's like a victory for them. And don't get it twisted. Conte, like I said, he will happily come to the Emirates and stink out the place tomorrow. He don't care. 30% possession, one shot. He don't care because he knows that they only need one opportunity. Son on the break. Big chance for Kane. That's all they're waiting for. We got to be smart. We got to score early, people. We have to score early, in my opinion. The longer the game is 0-0, it suits them. We got to score, pull them out. They're going to have to attack, and they don't like that. They don't like that at all. Nimbo said the debate on AFTV was funny. Yeah, man, I seen that. Big up Prems, big up Lee Judges. Who else was on there, man? Robbie, Turkish, obviously Abby and Tobes, I think, on the Tottenham side. Yeah, it was good debate, man. It's good debate. It's the beauty of football, innit, you know? I think it was it Saka Kulusevski was the argument. Big up Gunnar Down and Under. Hope you're well. Thank you for the email as well. I did get back to you. He said, sure, my man. So G'd up for this derby. Tomorrow we find out what we are made of. Time to embed some fear back in everyone talking bleach. All 3 points, or we are about straight nonsense. Or are we about straight nonsense, straight facts? Yeah, I got there in the end. Listen, like I said, if we win tomorrow, the hype is real. The hype is real. It was a blip at Old Trafford. We win tomorrow, we're about that life. We draw tomorrow, we get beat tomorrow, then we're hype merchants in my eyes. You know, you're slapping up all the... It's like being a year 11. You know, you beat the year 7s, you beat the year 8s at a game of football, but when you played the year 10s, you couldn't even handle them. You know, you lost. If we get beat tomorrow, we draw, people will go, oh, top of the league, yeah, but you played United, who weren't great, they slapped you, and then you played Tottenham at home, you couldn't beat them. We beat Tottenham tomorrow. We're going into that Liverpool game next weekend on absolute smoke. Bear in mind, Liverpool played Brighton at home this weekend. I think Liverpool beat Brighton. They've got a lot of players back, so that is a tough game next week. We beat Tottenham. We're excited for Liverpool. We drop points against Tottenham. Liverpool becomes a problematic game for us. A lot can change over the space of 90 minutes, man. But big up Gunner Down Under. People saying, Fran's in the chat. Where is he at, man? I can't see. Hey, here he is. Big up my brother, Fran. Yes, community. Great stream earlier. Got to dip for the school run. Hit the likes for my boy. Let me know as well if you're about tomorrow after the game. There's one way or another, win, lose or draw, there's going to be a lot to talk about. So it'd be good to get you on, get Laurie on, maybe even get Kev on if he's about as well. So big up Fran, make sure you go and follow him as well. Free hit Liverpool if we beat Spuds. No free hits, man. Remember, Lee Judges, no free hits. Anyway, let's move. Let's skip through this press conference. I'm sure it's going to be a long one. On the team news, he said, we just finished the last training session. Obviously, we had many players arriving yesterday, so we had a short period to prepare for the match, but the boys are looking in good condition. On the confidence in the squad, he said the mentality doesn't change. We have to go game by game. We need to look to get better and improve in many areas, and be humble. Be happy, be humble. Who was that? Kendrick Lamar, innit? But at the same time, really ambitious. That's the way forward for us to achieve what we want. If we slap them tomorrow, better high than champagne. Yo, I'm telling you, we might pop a bottle on stream tomorrow if we turn them clowns over. On how impressed he's been with Tottenham's start. He said not only the start, but the journey they have been on since Antonio joined and how things have changed. And the team that he's building, they have a clear identity and the way they're playing is impressive. We know that both teams expect a really tough match. Don't compliment him too much. I actually want him to throw a little shot at him. On whether last season's away game acts as extra motivation, he said, I just think it's all about emotion and willingness to get that moment and have enjoyment. It's the nicest game of the season by a mile for what it means to our supporters, for the history of it, and now as well, because looking at the table and where both teams want to be, it becomes a really important match. I think the word is excitement. Whoever wins the game is top of the league. Obviously, Manchester City play on Sunday. They could go back to the top. But yeah, man, we've got to win this game. We have to find a way. He said on whether he has told the new players about what to expect, he said they know what to expect. On whether Zinchenko, Partey and Tierney are in the squad, he said they are part of the team. They are part of the team. I'd love to hear how he's saying that. Is he saying that as they're part of Arsenal, which means they're not definitely involved tomorrow, but is he just... Or is he saying they're part of the team as in they are part of the team that we can pick tomorrow? Has anybody seen the press conference and seen the context of how he's saying that? Because it's a strange answer. And when you read it, sometimes you can't fully understand the context. They are part of the team. Does he mean they're part of the squad tomorrow? What's he saying? He's speaking waffleese here. I don't know what he means, people. That worries me now, unless he was saying it as if to just say, yeah, they're part of the squad tomorrow. I don't know what he means. They are a part of Arsenal. That's how I'm reading it. That's worrying me a little bit. I feel like he's saying, well, you know, they're part of Arsenal Football Club, but I don't know if they'll play tomorrow. That's the most Mikel answer ever. I'm telling you. Ethiopia said he was laughing when he said that. Okay, well, he better not drop no curveball on us tomorrow. Let me tell you. If I don't see Thomas Partey starting tomorrow, I'm having a meltdown before the game even starts. Let me tell you that. He isn't giving anything away. Also, to keep Conte guessing. Yeah, of course. Jonathan said Big C. He said that, then he laughed a bit. Okay, well, I hope these three are at least in the squad. Thomas Partey has to start. It's as simple as that. If he doesn't start, our midfield's all over the place. Man speaking waffleese again. On Tierney being pulled out of the internationals, I think that we all want the best for the player. We need to protect the welfare of the player. He has got the right mindset. Let me skip through. On whether it's a risk to play players at the start of a busy period, he said we have to go game by game, then form and performances, plus how the players are mentally and physically. Let's skip it as well. We know that. 9 games in October, people. On what he said to Gabriel Jesus about missing out on selection for Brazil, he said, first of all, we need to understand how they are feeling. How have they taken the news, how it's hit them, and how we can help them to their benefit. Just put your head down, take it on the chin. The only thing they can do is try to play at the level he has been playing or better to make it more difficult for the national team. A lot of people said in the comments when our 3 Brazilian players were left out, oh, maybe this was a discussion with Arsenal that will leave your Brazilians out. And I didn't agree with that, because I genuinely think that Brazil would have been keen to get all the players in the squad who they're looking at picking, because that was the last international break before the World Cup. So I genuinely think that these guys, Jesus, Martinelli and Magalhaes, were all left out. I would like to think at least one of them, especially Jesus, you would have thought, would go to the World Cup. But as I said, people have been saying Neymar's playing false 9. They've got Firmino as backup and Richarlison as the versatile striker. So I hope he goes. I do hope he goes, because you can tell it means a lot to him. And, you know, he got picked when he was at Man City. You don't want it to look like you've gone to Arsenal and then you've got dropped. 9 games is going to be a roller coaster. This month is going to be crazy for content. It is going to be a roller coaster, non-stop. Every 3 or 4 days, Arsenal play. Let's skip through anyway. On what makes the derby so special, he said many things. I think you have to feel attached and a belonging to the club. And when you have that feeling, you understand the history of the derbies, how both teams were historically created, what has happened over the years, and then that makes it very special. It's a very special city. It's a really special country, a very, very passionate fans, and it's a great atmosphere to play in. Interesting. I mean, Mikel Arteta, remember, he wanted to play for England at one point in his career. And I remember it caused a lot of controversy at the time when he wasn't obviously getting in the Spanish squad because of the likes of Xavi and Iniesta. And he tried to play for England. They didn't let it happen. Make sure you smash a like, people. 1,500 of you in the chat on YouTube and 35 of you on Twitch. Lick down the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Vote for the channel in the Football Content Awards. Links in the description below. There's a week left of voting, so let's get as many votes in as possible. Big up DJ Ash, big up Curtis. Hope you are good, mate. Just joined the stream. Nerves are already settling in for tomorrow. Cannot wait. Absolutely massive game. Clement said we need to start winning some of these big 6 games to be taken seriously. 100%, especially at home. I think Brazil checking out other options. They are all going to the Cup. I hope you're right. Elliot said you got my vote. Big up. Let's skip through. He said on who will be doing the team talk this time. Obviously, Stuart did it last time, the photographer. He said it depends on the moment, but obviously we have so many people here that have been here much longer than us. Their feelings towards the club are even deeper than ours, and I felt in the moment it was the right thing to do. On whether Emile Smith-Rowe will be back after the World Cup, he said, hopefully, yes. We had to make a decision because we could not continue the uncertainty as to whether we have him or have him with certain conditions. We needed to draw a line. So we made that decision, and he was the first one demanding that he wanted to make the decision, and we supported that. We have to prepare him to get back stronger than he was. Of course, Smith-Rowe is out until December, which is a big loss for Arsenal. He obviously scored 10 goals last season. And he's somebody that is a great option, whether starting or coming off the bench. Do Arsenal need to go into the market in January and sign a winger? At the moment, you know, start of the season, we would have said Martinelli and Smith-Rowe on the left, Saka and Pepe on the right. We're now talking about only Martinelli on the left and maybe Saka and Marquinhos on the right. We are a lot weaker than we were in pre-season in those wide positions. Obviously, we're hoping for Marquinhos to continue with the good start that he's made. And obviously, Reece Nelson is now back in full training. Can he finally rescue his Arsenal career? He's certainly flattered to deceive a little bit. Hasn't lived up to the hype. Interesting. Mikel, UK citizen. Well, he wanted to play for England. Big up Shiba said, yo, Curtly, just read. Bless up, bro. Big up everyone in the chat. Yeah, let's skip through what he's saying anyway. I think it's quite a long press conference. On how long he'll be out for, he said, after surgery, it's difficult. We need to go step by step. Obviously, we know that before the World Cup will not be easy. Apparently, he's out till December. On how he convinced Jesus to sign for Arsenal, Edu had to talk with him to describe what the project was, what our club is about, and the role he would have. I spoke to him too, so it was a team effort. He clearly understood what we wanted to do. The relationship we have with him helped a lot. There is a trust and connection already, and then it is completely up to the player. What a signing he has been. On whether he was convinced he could sign him. He said we were hopeful, and his immediate reaction was extremely positive. After that, there are a lot of steps that have to go in the right direction to finalise and get a player signed for the club. But to be fair, Gabby made it pretty easy. Stevie said, Ivan Perisic, when I was 5 years old, I won the egg and spoon race. Curtis Shaw, this means nothing to me. I don't care what he's won. Make him run. Watch him tomorrow. He better not score, I tell you, after I've clowned him like this. Yeah, big up everyone who was putting that in the comments as well. Arsenal have extended their contract by a further 4 years. I believe it was running out. Oh, in fact, more than 4 years. Sorry, I believe it was running out 2024. I believe they've extended it for a further 6 years to 2030. So that money's rolling in from Adidas until 2030. 8 years now with Adidas. John Layat said North London derbies used to go wild in my household because his brother was a Spurs fan. I remember there was one derby where I lost it and flipped. I'm telling you, man. Big up John Gooner, who said, Curtis, you're a proper gooner from North Top Goonham from an op. What's he playing here? Op? North. Up north. Oh, up north. Top Gooner, mate. There you go. There you go. I got there in the end. Apologies. Elliot said, hey, gotta admit, Adidas make the best kits. They do make nice kits. I did like our Nike days as well, to be honest. Maybe because I just prefer Nike to Adidas in general clothing. But yeah, looking forward to another 5 kits and 25 training kits a season from Adidas for the next 8 years. On Antonio Conte saying Arsenal are a better side than last season. He said, first of all, thank you. And hopefully we are. But the next few months will unveil that. We want to get better. We want to get better than we are today. First of all, thank you. Now, I'm going to take a sip of my drink just for a sec. I'm not going to make too much of this. He's just being polite. Don't let Antonio Conte soften you up, you know, Mikel. Don't let him do this to you. I know what he's doing. He's trying to be all nice and gentleman and probably wearing a suit and Italian charm. Oh, Arsenal are so much better than last season. And Mikel, you're such a great manager. You're one of the best young managers around. Oh, thank you for the lovely compliment, Antonio Conte. How about you come in my office afterwards and we share a bottle of red wine, one that I've had for 20 years. It's worth $5,000. Now, bun that. Bun all of that. Bun him. Yeah? Take off that wig, that toupee. Yeah? I want to see smoke tomorrow. I want to see what Thomas Tuchel was on. When he shakes your hand before the game, grab it. Where you going? Where you going, Antonio? Thank you for the compliment in the press conference, but this is war, my friend. This is war. Don't let him soften you up. I don't want to hear no first of all, thank you. I would have said, oh, Antonio said you're a better team than last season. He said, yeah, bun his clock. I don't care what he says. Tell him to sort his hair out. And make sure Emerson Royale's fit tomorrow. Yeah? Straight war. I don't want it to be all nice. This is London Derby business. Yeah, man's doing a Godfather thing. Man's doing a Goodfellas thing, being all nice to him. Next minute, you're in the boot of the car. Don't bun all that. I don't want to hear no first of all, thank you. We move. Mikel, you know the North London Derby. Don't let him sweeten you up. Nike over Adidas. Yeah, for me, I'm Nike over Adidas. Man said a bit aggressive. I think we're going to need some aggression tomorrow. I think we're going to need it. Elliot said, thank you, man. Try shake your hand. Remember Tuchel. Tuchel was on straight beef. And Chelsea and Spurs ain't got the beef that we've got, man. Yo, when he shakes your hand, don't let go of it and squeeze it. Boom. Squeeze his fingers together. You know the fingers, you just, where's the finger? You just squeeze them, bam. Squeeze his fingers, hold on to him. Just look him in the eye. Don't even say nothing to him. Just stare at him. You know what I mean? Make him think you're a lunatic. This is war tomorrow, people. No nicey nice business. On having any hesitation about playing Saliba against Kane and Son, William has shown over the past few months what he's capable of, and that doesn't mean that things are always going to go in the same direction, but he's been so good that from my side, I have no doubts. That's just a stupid question, isn't it? Like, you know, the man's a beast, mate. Man said, then uppercut him. I'm telling you, squeeze his hand, then bam! You know what I mean? We'll pay for bail, Mikel. You know, we'll start a GoFundMe. 10 grand, 20 grand bail, we'll sort it. £1 each, we'll get you out of there, Mikel. Whatever's necessary. But squeeze his hand when he shakes your hand. It's straight war, people. Make him know. On Jesus being one booking away from a suspension, it's a thin balance and aggression is in his nature. He gets a lot of contact and puts his body on the line, but we've been unlucky with the amount of bookings that he has. Some of them we cannot prevent because there was a bit of disciplinary, but we want to avoid a suspension for sure. Free my guy, Mikel. Yo, listen, Mikel, if you have to hold a couple nights in the cell, but we win the derby, we got you, man. We got you, bro. I know we've had some problems, you know. We've had some problems, Mikel, but we got your back right now. If they lock you up, we're going to post bail for you. We get you out. But yeah, we got you, man. Don't worry. Kevin Campbell's your lawyer. I'm sure he can get you out, you know. When he shakes your hand, squeeze his fingers together, man. Dislocate his knuckle. Do whatever's necessary, people. By any means necessary. Malcolm X business. On whether the squad is more prepared for the emotion of the derby this time, he said it is a different context. We went into that game with many different circumstances in terms of players that were available and what happened during the game. You take the lesson and you learn from it. On whether the squad have learned from last season, he said yes, straight to the point. On whether the rearrangement last season hindered Arsenal, he said, I have no idea. If you want to play in the Champions League, you have to get the moment where the pressure is on and the circumstances and overcome the situation. That day we didn't do it from our side in the decisions that were made in this game. Moro said Reece Nelson and Marquinhos need to step up in the absence of Smith Rowe. One of them's got to become a hero. Would you dance if I asked you to dance? I can be your hero. Come and be the hero. Marquinhos, Reece Nelson. Heard a lot of hype around Reece Nelson. I ain't seen it yet. Marquinhos, he cried the other week. Let's cry tears of joy. I'm ready, man. We'll shed tears. Come on and score the winner in the derby, man. It's war season tomorrow. Straight war, people. We get Nando's to celebrate. We cook them on the pitch, then we order a cheeky Nando's afterwards, people. Malcone X. That's what we're on, Anthony. Malcone X. The cone, man. It ain't no joke. Pull the wig off, throw it on the floor, and handle business. Let's move. Let's get through it. Let's see what he's got to say. On what he wants to see from the officials, let him do his job. That's it. I'm with you on that. Let's not even make excuses on how important decisions will be, on how important decision-making will be in the box. We'll be looking at those things. We have to focus on what we can do on the pitch and let the referee run the game. On whether surgery for Smith Rowe was the initial plan, we put all the alternatives on the table. And the thing is, we have tried some others during the last few months. They haven't worked to the point the player wasn't comfortable, consistently able to perform to his best. We decided to take the route. It was the best decision. We'll stick to it and move on. That is the end of it. Waffle is over. Can't take much more of that. The ones before the game are really painful, I can't lie. But yeah, it is what it is. The waffle's done. John said, Curtis, mate, North London is at war tomorrow. No messing about. Al Capone. Oh, that is a banger. Al Capone, you know. Cone man setting. Stevie, that's top quality. Tony Montetta. Oh, you lot, I'm telling you. You lot don't play, you know. We've had Malcone X, Al Capone, and Tony Montetta. I don't know how you think of these so quick. I don't know how. George said, a win for the Gunners, bro. If I were Nelson, I would take advantage. Nelson can rescue his career in the next few months. Reece Nelson was rated higher than Jadon Sancho in England youth football. Jadon Sancho cost £72 million. Reece Nelson, let's be honest, his Arsenal career is fizzling out. Oh, it went off there. Apologies. I don't know what are they doing. They're hacking me again? What's going on here? He's got an opportunity to rescue his Arsenal career, Reece Nelson. But is he about that life? Is he good enough? Is he good enough? Mikel Lufacone. Vito Conleone. Al Parteta. You lot don't stop, you know. Mikel Lufacone. I don't know how you get them so quick. Tony Montetta. All he has is his cones and his word, people. All he has is his cones and his word. There was a little glitch in the Matrix there. I don't know what was happening. Maybe they were hacking me, people. Anyway, before we round up the stream, one bit of transfer news. I left it to the end because, to be honest, it's a bit boring. But I'm just going to discuss it anyway, just in case it happens. I'm not going to spend much time talking about it, but we'll talk about it briefly. According to Calcio Mercato out of Italy, Arsenal are plotting a move for Juventus midfielder Manuel Locatelli. Al Capone, that's a good one as well. Paolo Escocone. I mean, Locatelli is just a boring discussion for me. It seems as if, for some strange reason, Allegri is pushing him out of the door. His job's on the line. It seems as if he's going to get rid of him. I've got the report here, the full report. I'm just going to read it out briefly. Allegri does not consider Locatelli a starter in his system. This is despite the fact Locatelli is still not officially signed for Juventus. He's on a loan until the end of the season with an obligation to buy for £30 million. So they have to buy him anyway. At the moment, he is fifth choice in the pecking order, behind Rabiot, Paredes and Weston McKennie, as well as Paul Pogba, who will return from injury shortly. It appears if a club offers 40 million that Juventus would consider selling him in the January window. I mean, they're going to pay 30 for him. They want to get rid of him because he hasn't performed, and they want 10 million profit for him. I mean, come on, Arsenal. Arsenal should be turning up if they really want him and just saying, we'll pay the 30 million that you was going to pay for him. I'm not giving you no profit on a guy that ultimately has flopped since he's been here. I don't buy into it. Do Arsenal still want him? I'm not sure. He never wanted to join Arsenal. He always wanted to go to Juventus. And do you have a problem with him rejecting us to go to Juventus? Then Juventus get rid of him and we take him. Oh, do we have to put our pride to the side and say we need a midfielder? Locatelli is still a good talent. He's 24 and take him. Or are you of the opinion that, listen, we tried to sign you, you bumped us, you went somewhere else and it didn't work, so go about your business. We're going to find someone else. Me personally, I don't think he's good enough that I would make an exception for him. If you're talking about a top footballer and he rejects you, goes somewhere else, then you might have to make an exception and say, you're that good that I'll take you. For me, I'm not that interested in him. I haven't been impressed with him. Saw him in the Champions League a few times. I'd let him go elsewhere. I'd rather take somebody else. Go and get Douglas Luiz for 15 million. Go and get Danilo from Brazil if you think he's the real deal. So for me, I'm not that bothered. I'm not that bothered about him. You would say that, you know, he's at Sassuolo, he's gone to the big club and ultimately he's flopped. So, yeah, I'm not that bothered. I'm not that bothered about Locatelli, to be honest. And they want 40 million for him, for a guy they paid 30 million for that has ultimately bottled it. So, yeah, Shaq, you're right. They probably did us a favour. You know, they got to the front of the queue, paid 30 mil. Now they don't want him. They're trying to bump us and make profit. Leave him. Make him go on, man. We'll take Douglas Luiz for 15 million. He can help us till the summer. Hopefully we get Champions League and then we go for a real big boy in the summer. So for me, I'd leave it alone. I'm not interested in it. Luiz done deal, I feel, in January. I think so. I've got to be honest. I think Douglas Luiz in January will be available. I think Villa have realised that they bottled it, keeping him. He doesn't want to be there. He's not going to sign a deal. They're struggling. And he's not happy there. I think Villa will panic in January and just say get 15 million quid for a player that's going to leave for nothing in the summer. So I think Douglas Luiz will come in January. And for 15 million, I'd be all over that. And then in the summer, maybe you get rid of somebody like El Neni and you go and get a real top midfielder in. But yeah, listen, people, that is it for today. We've been on for 1 hour and 7 minutes. Thank you very much for tuning in. Lick down the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. Vote for the Football Content Awards, link in the description. 11:45 a.m. tomorrow. Arsenal against Tottenham, watch along. North London derby, going to be absolutely massive. 45-minute build-up before the game. We'll do reaction after the game with Laurie, maybe Fran if he's about, and maybe Kevin Campbell if he's about as well. So make sure you join me. 11:45, Arsenal against Tottenham, North London derby. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Tomorrow we go to war, and let's make sure North London continues to be red. See you all tomorrow. Enjoy your Friday, and I will see you soon, people. Bless.